Alright, so this is Building in Public, episode 19, nearly 5 months in now. So, this can be a short podcast because I've got a wedding in about 2 hours and I need to get ready. But this week's kind of been a weird one. So obviously it's during season now, it's summertime here in Greece, and in the summertime we work. We work a lot, and I've been having a lot of weddings. I'm tired, I'm pretty drained. But the title of this podcast is Listen to Your Body. Now, the reason I say that, and the topic of this week's podcast is going to be in line with your body, bro. So pretty much, let me give a recap of June for me. So I was cutting for multiple months. I did a 1 meal a day, which really messed up my digestion. And then I started to fix up my meal timing and my meal spacing, having 5 to 6 meals a day, focusing on my recovery. And then during June, I decided to do a maintenance phase so I could recover and get my body back in check so I can go into another cut without any diet fatigue and actually have a productive cut. And that was all going really well. From the 3rd of June, which was the day one of the maintenance, until the 23rd was really good. I was feeling great, I was getting tighter, I felt leaner even though I was increased calories, and my maintenance phase was doing its job. You know, I was feeling recovered, I was getting better sleep, I was having amazing training sessions, which is what I'm going to get into in a minute. But on the 23rd, and it is now the 28th as the day of the recording, I've had a difficult few days. So yeah, until the 23rd, I was having incredible training sessions. I also changed my workout split to a more demanding workout split of 4 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off cycle. So in 9 days, I was doing 7 training sessions, as opposed to, I believe I was on an upper-lower split beforehand, or a full body every other day. But pretty much I increased my workout load and my training load by quite a lot. So going from 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days training, 1 day rest, to 4 days training, 1 day rest. And also those 2 days training that I was doing were much lighter because obviously when I was cutting and I was on this dumb diet, I had no energy. I realized that now after the maintenance, that I was actually performing under a really low energy state. So anyway, I then did the maintenance, I changed my split, and I was having incredible workouts, but I was also doing these dedicated leg days that I hadn't done for a while. And legs for me are a strong point, so I don't need to do them super often, but I really hit legs hard. And so I went these 3 weeks in a row pretty much of having incredible training sessions and having some of the best leg days I've ever done. And then 23rd hit and I tanked. I woke up one day, so I was getting average around 75 kilos, 74 kilos. And then one day I woke up and I was 77.7, and I felt really drained and I was really tired. And I had an arm day this day, which I was kind of contemplating whether I should do it or not. I ended up doing it. And then the next day I was fucked. I can't even say it any other way. I was so tired. I ended up sleeping 12 and a half hours, and I still have eye bags. And that was 2 days prior. But pretty much during the 3-week training that was really productive, I did have in my mind that maybe I'm pushing it a little bit too hard. Maybe I'm pushing it just a bit over what I can recover from at the moment, especially since the food that I'm on, it is maintenance, but it's not a lot of food. I'm on 2,450 calories, which for me is good, and I feel good with it, and I'm maintaining. But obviously the training sessions that I'm doing and the amount of extra workload that I gave myself, and obviously I'm still doing weddings at this point, so it's not just training, I'm doing weddings as well. So yeah, anyway, I had this tank, and pretty much instead of doing a planned deload, I am forcing, I'm kind of been forced to deload. So yesterday I hit a light pull day for a deload session, and then the day before I hit a light push day. Today I've got a rest day. I've also got a wedding today, and I'm focusing on recovery. But the message of this podcast is like, don't do the same thing as me. Like if you start seeing symptoms of your body being overworked, like not take your foot off the pedal, because I know like that can come off as like chill out. You know, I'm not the sort of person that's going to tell you like do less, chill out, don't push yourself too hard, because I'm the first person to tell you, you know, do whatever the fuck it takes to achieve your goal, and that is why I will become successful. But especially like physically, be in line, you know. And if you need a rest day, because at the end of the day, it's not about pushing yourself till failure and pushing past it. It's about pushing yourself hard and not having to have this deload or have this massive fatigue build-up. You know, like for me, it would have been a lot more productive now if I had listened to my body a little bit more prematurely. I would have taken a few more rest days and not had the tank where I fluctuated in weight 3 kilos and felt really tired. Instead, I could have just took a few more rest days and still have productive workout sessions. The good thing is that I've learned to take notice of my body now, and I'm more in line with my body and how I feel, so I can prevent this measure from happening again. So that is the benefit and the positive that I will take from this. But my message to you in this podcast is look after yourself. You know, look after yourself. If you feel like every day you're drained, you're tired, you can't function, and you're wondering why, you may be pushing yourself like over the limit that you should be. You know, I'm a very big advocate for rest and recovery, and I think if you recover well and you are well rested, you perform better. So it's all well and good saying, yeah, work like 12 hours, 16 hours. But if you're working those 16 hours and the rest you get is inadequate, then the quality of work you're getting in those 16 hours will be less than what it could be if you had just rested better and worked less hours, but those hours that you are working are more productive. That's my say. And there is studies behind that to say that that is the way of doing things and that is beneficial. So yeah, that is my message from this podcast. I will be uploading in July. I've got some exciting projects. I finally invested in the fabric for Bellan, for my business, for my brand, and it's going to be an exciting month. I've got photo shoots, I've got video shoots, I've got projects upcoming, I've got personal brand behind the scenes stuff I'm thinking of doing. So in general, July is going to be a very exciting month, and kind of from this month onwards is where we really ramp things up. Like more personal brand content, more, obviously I'm going to kickstart the brand. I'm going to have more things to document, and I'm really, really fucking excited. So yeah, I'm going to call this podcast short because I have a wedding to go to. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one next Monday.